Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney and I've got an emotional video for you guys today because Mama made garments for her baby birds for prom. And as you're watching this, as I'm filming it, prom is not over yet. As you're watching it though, prom has come and gone. Their senior prom, and this is a very emotional time for me, but they're excited. But anyway, I wanted to share what I made for my children for prom. I made a little something for my son, and then obviously the full dress for my daughter. I will be posting pictures as I'm talking about them. I don't know, as I'm filming this, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to ask their dates if I have permission to post their photos as well. But if not, I'll definitely show my kids at least, even the two of them together. But they did have dates, the two of them, if I can't show pictures like that. But anyway, I got busy. I made my daughter's dress, obviously. And the tie and pocket square honestly took me a lot longer than I thought it was going to. But, you know, I did it, and want to talk you through what we've happened. So since the dress is kind of the biggest thing that we've done here, we will start with the dress. So this pattern is the Hollywood dress by Gertie. It is one of her Patreon patterns from, I'm one of her Patreon members. I have been for a long time. I'm the very bottom tier, the very lowest tier. But when she released this pattern, one of the months, gosh, maybe January or February, it can also have sleeves and it could be a robe. But I saw it and she had it done up like in a sequined fabric. And I was like, oh my gosh, I showed my daughter. I was like, what do you think for prom? And she immediately said yes, because the nice thick straps meant that my daughter could wear a regular bra with this, which if you're large busted, you know what a huge deal that is to be able to wear a regular bra with anything. So she was all in. And then Kiki Textiles had reached out to me about doing a collaboration together. If they could send me some fabric for me to put on to my social media and that sort of thing, just kind of progress shots and that sort. And I had not bought from them before, but I had followed along on Instagram and seen some beautiful evening wear things that people had made from their fabrics. So I got on and with my daughter and we looked, and I responded, yes, like that would be so great. I'm getting ready to make a prom dress. I would love, that would be fantastic. So they sent me the fabric for this dress, 2 fabrics. They sent me this kind of mint, which you can kind of see, maybe I'll unbuckle it. This mint crepe back satin that was absolutely, hold on, when you don't have the dress on, I had to think about how it comes. When it's not on the body. Anyway, it's this beautiful mint green, pistachio green crepe back satin. And then, but she wanted some pizzazz because it's prom. So we also asked if we could have some of this, I think it's called Waves. It is a glitter lace and on like a white mesh background. Obviously the lace itself, the glitter part is silver. And my daughter really liked it because it was a little bit more contemporary. She liked the squiggles that the sequin, or not sequins, it's glitter, that the glitter lace made. And they said absolutely, sent it to us. Fantastic. My sewing room and workroom, because I've just finished making these things, looks like a silver glitter bomb has gone off. And my daughter's had numerous fittings on this dress, and so there's even glitter all throughout my house. Just, I mean, probably for me working on it, a lot of handwork went into this dress, and yeah, there's glitter all over the place. I'll probably be finding it for years, but that's okay. It made such a pretty dress that I'm very, very happy with it. So the construction of this dress actually is not hard at all. The pattern itself is actually really simple. It is this sleeveless, well, you can have a sleeved bodice or sleeveless. Obviously, I've gone sleeveless. Comes in cup sizes. We did the size 6 for her with the EF cup, but I ended up taking the width out of the side seams after I did a fitting, and then she's a 6 in the bodice, and then we graded to a 4 at the waist, and then back to a 6 at the hips, and that that was the trick. That was the secret sauce that turned everything perfectly. But it's got these really pretty pleats that are here that feed into the waistband, and then on one side of the wrap skirt, you've got the pleats that are on the skirt here. Lovely. The bodice is fully lined. So the bodice we've got here is fully lined. The skirt is not. As you can see the side seam there, the skirt is just the layer of crepe back satin with the lace over it. I did a whole series in my membership. So if you are part of my membership, and if you've missed anything, if you go to my channel, the homepage of my channel, and click on membership, you just have to make sure you're signed into your YouTube account. If you're a member, you can go back and watch all the stories. They're all titled Sewing a Prom Dress and, colon, and then whatever I'm talking about in that video. But I went through the fitting process with her. I went through how I've attached the outside fabric to the inside fabric, which was a lot of hand basting, the finishing on the dress, second fitting. I did a whole bunch of videos there in the community. So anyway, if you're interested in seeing like the actual, as I was going through the construction process of this. Again, the construction of this was not hard. We did decide though, I did make a mock-up of the bodice for her, and we had too much, it was too big. So that's when I decided to take in the waist portions of it, which helped. And I thought that's all I needed to do. But because I only made a muslin of the bodice and the skirt was not there to like weigh things down enough, once I made the dress, I noticed that we still had too much fullness in the bodice, and it was just a matter of taking it up. I needed to do a petite adjustment basically on her, but we just took it up at the shoulders, and that worked out fine. I mean, she'll wear this dress the one time. I guess, I don't know. What do you do with a prom dress after? I don't know. Find someone else to wear it in a few years, I guess. Anyway, that is one adjustment that we made. We did take it up at the shoulders, which surprised me that the bodice was a little long because she is very long in the torso, even though she's only 5'2". We shortened the skirt by 2 inches before I cut it out, and then I did a 2-inch hem at the bottom, and we tried it on with their shoes and stuff. That worked out really well. Because this is a straight skirt, the hem was not laborious at all, although I hand do the hem. I hand sewed up the hem so that there was no top stitching, which took forever. But what took a lot of forever was attaching this beautiful rhinestone belt that we have attached here to the waistband. When my mentor Joyce knew that she wouldn't be able to sew anymore, she gifted her entire fabric stash to myself and then a few other of our sewing friends. She just wanted to see her stuff go to people that are going to use it and love it. I did a video on that. It's been quite a few years ago now. But I guess in that, I know this came from her stash, I came across this rhinestone belt, and I'm sure when I grabbed it, I was even thinking, oh, one day Ava will go to prom and this could be really, this could come in handy. I'm sure at some point it came off a wedding dress because Joyce she did custom bridal gowns and did bridal gown alterations as well. So if anything, if someone wanted a belt off, she didn't throw stuff away, she kept all that kind of stuff. Anyway, this thing was heavy, and hand sewing this rhinestone belt on to this waistband took me 3 hours. 3 hours. Because I had to hand sew along the top edge and then along the bottom edge. And it's a heavy piece. So I was literally sewing in between each rhinestone. It took forever. Not to mention the whole time too, while I'm messing around with the dress, it's just shedding glitter everywhere. I'm like, how can there still be glitter on this dress? There's so much glitter all over my house. But yeah, you don't see any empty spots. It looks great. It looks really, really wonderful. The dress is finished off with hook and eyes here at the front. So again, as I am filming this, there we go. She's had it on a few times, but she's not worn it to prom yet. So hopefully all this works out well. And then because she's big busted, and I do this on all wrap tops, I put a little clear snap right here just to keep things, from falling out. But she is very excited. We've got, a nice little slit here in the leg, which I don't think is going to cause too much trouble. Her shoes that we got have like a little rhinestone across it's a strappy heel, a moderate heel. She can't be in too high of heels, but a little strap across the toe that matches the rhinestone on the belt. So again, actually a very easy make. And other than it just took a lot of time because I hand basted all these layers together for the entire dress. That took forever. And I even hand basted into the pleats and into the darts so that my layers stayed together when I was sewing those areas. So anyway, the back gets gathered into the waistband here in the back. There's darts at the back skirt. But again, a pretty easy construction-wise dress. Like there was no boning as far as an evening gown is concerned. I'm very happy with the amount of work that went into this. Now, is sewing evening wear my passion? No. I will gladly do these things for my kid. If my daughter comes to me or future daughter-in-law comes to me and says, hey, will you make my wedding gown? I would say yes, and I would do that. However, this is not, I am not someone, I mean, some people just love making the fancy dresses and that is their jam and they just get so excited. There's so much pressure on these gowns that are, you know, for these big events. Whereas when I'm making my ready to wear clothes, even for my daughter, I don't know, there just doesn't feel as much pressure. So, and I'm not a perfectionist, but yeah, I was feeling it here. Mostly with the fitting. Like I really wanted to nail the fitting. And I even say in my fitting classes that I run, there's no such thing as perfect fit. We're just going for really great fit. Perfect fit doesn't exist. Perfection doesn't exist. And I kept telling myself that, but I was waiting for her to like light up. Like I wanted her to be feeling like wonderful and beautiful and that this was the dress. And we got there. When she put it on the last time before I sewed on this belt, the last time I saw it light up in her face and how excited she was. And that did it for me. So that's a pretty good feeling. But anyway, that is this dress, the Gertie Hollywood dress from her Patreon. And then the fabrics are both from Kiki Textiles. And I will link that all down below in the description box. All right, then my dear son just kind of last minute-ish decided he wanted to go to prom with the group that my daughter was going to go with. And then just a couple of days before prom, not even a full week before prom, asked someone to go with him, asked a friend to be his date, which I'm like, wait till the last minute. Anyway, he wanted a tie and a pocket square that matched or coordinated with her dress. She's one of my daughter's best friends, so that worked out well. We already knew what she was wearing, and my daughter had pictures of it because they had been sending pictures of their dresses back and forth to one another. But he wanted something that coordinated with her. So we had already gotten him a suit and a shirt for job interviews and stuff that are going to be happening in college, just associated with his major and all that kind of stuff. And he's also almost 19. They'll be 19 here in a couple of months, and he needs a suit, you know, for, you know, big events, you know, funerals, unfortunately, and weddings, that sort of thing. He needs a suit. So we went and got him a navy blue suit. So he was all set there. So I agreed to make him a tie and a pocket square. So he went digging in my stash and picked out this beautiful fuchsia silk that I think also came from Joyce's stash, to be honest, because this is not in my color palette. But this beautiful fuchsia / raspberry silk, and wanted a necktie out of it with a matching pocket square, which in my head, I'm like, well, that's not hard. Of course. I used the Sew Over It ultimate necktie or men's necktie, something like that. I'll link it down below for my pattern. But what I did is I love to thrift silk neckties. You guys know this because I like to use it for bias binding because tie fabric is cut on the bias. And I like to use silk ties, make great bias binding for things. You wash them, you cut them up. So, but I save the interfacing that's inside of there because it's a very specific type of interfacing that you don't see. Demet is often what it's called. You just don't see it and to be able to purchase it. So why not just re-thrift? Even if you're buying a real wide tie and you're making a thinner tie, you just cut it down. So I opened up a tie and cut the pattern pieces. It worked out great. And then, used this beautiful silk charmeuse that I had in my stash and some silk crepe for the lining that I just had. It's actually from a blouse I made for my daughter. So that was very, very easy. I had a dickens of a time, though, with this silk charmeuse. Because it's cut on the bias, it kept growing on me. So if you've ever played with bias strips, you know that you can stretch them and they get skinnier but longer. That's what the pattern pieces kept doing to me. And so I'd already sewn them together on the bias to make the one long piece. And oh my gosh, It kept growing on me. So I'm trying to like fold over the edges, and then it has to be the whole back of the tie gets hand sewn together. And I put a Tomcat Stitchery tag back here so that he can tuck the back of the tie in when he has it tied. But oh my gosh, it took me so much longer than I thought that it would. But we're there. It's done. And then with the pocket square, I cut a piece of the silk, 18 by 18. So I looked it up, and pocket squares tend to be 17.5 inches by 17.5 inches. So I cut it 18 by 18, and then I did a hand rolled hem to finish off this square. So and again, in the membership, I did a tutorial for that in the membership on how, it's not hard, but how to do a hand rolled hem. It just takes forever. So if you have any fabric that you want to make a scarf or whatever, I mean, I have an Hermes scarf that I inherited from one of my great aunts, and this is the hem that's on those Hermes scarves. It's someone has hand rolled that entire edge of that scarf, and that's what I've done here. I mean, is my stitches as even and as beautiful as my Hermes scarf? No, but I also don't do this all the time, and it works. I've got great matching thread. It works. It's perfect. So listen to an audiobook, and I did the whole perimeter of the the pocket square. So they're set and ready to go. While this is an end of an era and makes Mama a little emotional, they are both very excited about the next chapter, which definitely helps. I'm excited for them. Maybe say a little prayer for me as we're going into this last month of their high school career. Things are going to be ending here pretty quickly, so it's just crazy. I can't believe we're here already. But again, they're both very excited about the next chapter this fall, so and I'm excited for them. So anyway, just a lot of laughs that are coming. So next up, in terms of me sewing for my children, I am making my daughter her white graduation dress. So that still needs to happen, and like now. So at some point I'll get to go back to sewing for myself. But yes, one more thing in the shoot for them, for her, and then he's wearing store-bought stuff, and then we are set and ready to get back to sewing for myself for the upcoming warm months. Anyway, there you have it. Sewing for prom. That is the path that I've been on here the past few weeks. I'm kind of glad that this part of it is over, and I hope they have a wonderful time at their party. All right, guys, I hope this was informative. I hope you enjoyed it. Get some sewing in this week if you can, and I will see you guys again next time. Happy sewing.